Hey everyone, Brian here. Now, Spinnernet1 just did a video today on how he would book Smackdown on the pay-per-views throughout the summer. Well, I thought I'd try something a little different. And this all depends on what happens in the future with WWE within the next year or so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to project on how I would do next year's WWE Draft. Now, I don't know when they'll do the draft next year, if it's going to be the week after WrestleMania like it was this year, or if it's going to be, in the summer like it was last year. But this is how I would do it. And they say you really want to shake things up. And I have to say they did a good job with this year's draft, as I mentioned in some previous videos. I'm just looking around because I normally don't do this in the park or anything. But what I'm saying is what I would do is I would do this. The way I would do the draft is like this. For the past 2 years, we've had Raw win the first match. Of course, I'd keep the same format they've kept this year and last year and the previous year. And that's whatever brand wins a match, that's the brand that gets the draft pick. This year, I'd shake it up a little bit. Next year, I'd shake it up a little bit. For 2010, I'd have Smackdown win the first match. And the person I'd have them get from a brand would be Tyson Kidd from ECW. That's if Tyson Kidd is still part of ECW. I'd have him get drafted to Smackdown as the first drafted pick of the night. Then for the second pick of the night, because we get 12 picks, I'd have ECW win. And this would be the year I'd give ECW more than just one draft pick. ECW would win, and I would give them a big draft pick to start them out. I would give them the draft pick of... Are you ready for this? I would give them the draft pick of Edge. That's right. I would have Edge drafted to ECW as the second draft pick of next year's draft. The second pick of next year's draft. That's what I would do. Then for the third one, I'd go with Raw. So I'd kind of do it in order. I'd go like SmackDown, ECW, Raw. Kind of give the brand give each brand a draft pick right off the bat. So I would go with Raw winning the next match. And I would have Raw get draft from ECW. That's right, I'd have Raw draft from ECW, Vladimir Kozlov. And like I said, this all depends on whether some of these superstars remain with WWE or not. It all depends on the future. But I would have Raw draft Vladimir Kozlov to the brand from ECW. Then, for the fourth pick of the night, I would have ECW win, and I would have them draft... Are you ready for this? I would have them draft Cody Rhodes. That's right. I'd have them draft Cody Rhodes from Raw to ECW. That's the way I would look at it. So Cody Rhodes, along with Edge, would be two of ECW's draft picks for the night. Then for the fifth draft pick, I'd go to Raw, and I'd let Raw draft from SmackDown R-Truth. That's right. R-Truth goes from SmackDown to Raw in next year's draft. Then, for the sixth pick of the night, SmackDown, because like I said, I want to even it out. I want to make sure everyone gets an even amount of superstars. For the sixth draft pick of the night, I would allow SmackDown to draft from Raw. Are you ready for this? I would allow them to draft from Raw, and this is something I've been waiting to see for a while, Ted DiBiase. That's right, the sixth draft pick of the night, Ted DiBiase goes from Raw to SmackDown. That would be SmackDown's draft. That would be the sixth pick going to SmackDown. Basically, SmackDown gets the sixth pick. That's who they draft. So Anyway, like I said, so basically what I'm saying is that SmackDown, to start off, would get Tyson Kidd and Ted DiBiase. Right. And then, are you ready for this? For the 7th draft pick of the night, I go to Raw. And Raw would get from ECW, because it all depends on who goes to ECW from the Florida Championship Wrestling Developmental Territory. But I would get from ECW to Raw Sheamus O'Reilly, or whatever his name is, the young Irishman that's in the FCW and is being possibly called up real soon. I'd have Raw get him. That's right. And then SmackDown would get the 8th pick of the night. In SmackDown's 8th pick of the night, it would be one of the big ones. I'd have SmackDown get from Raw Shawn Michaels. It all depends if Shawn Michaels is still wrestling at that time or not. I'd have them get Shawn Michaels. And then, for the 9th pick of the night, which would go to ECW, ECW would get from SmackDown someone that was a part of ECW this previous year. I would allow them to get back Ricky Ortiz. That's right. For the 9th draft pick, depending on if he's pushed in a big way or not, I'd have ECW get Ricky Ortiz. And then, for the 10th draft pick, we go back to ECW, and ECW would get the current, and I don't know if he's going to be the current champion of this championship, current holder of this championship or not, but I'd have ECW get with the 10th draft pick MVP. That's right. MVP would be the next draft pick on ECW's list. And that's the way I would do it. Because if you put bigger stars on there, it helps the brand like ECW out a lot. And then, for the 11th draft pick of the night, Raw would get that. And Raw would get from SmackDown, back for the first time as an official Raw superstar, The Undertaker. That's right, if The Undertaker is still wrestling at that time, I'd have him be drafted in next year's draft from SmackDown to Raw. And then for the final draft pick of the night, which would go to SmackDown, I'd give him somebody that started on SmackDown from the beginning, and that is John Cena. John Cena drafted from Raw to SmackDown. That's how I would work it, and that's how I would book next year's 2010 WWE Draft if I was to do it. And again, this is a response to Spinnernet1's request of video how he would book the Smackdown matches on the pay-per-views throughout the summer. And if you got any comments, just let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Peace out. God bless.